The sun was setting over Langston Square, casting a golden hue over the city's most exclusive shopping district. People strolled through the boutiques, laughter and conversation filling the air. Among them was Maya Sinclair, a woman whose presence commanded attention, not because of her clothes, which were simple yet elegant, nor because of the way she carried herself, exuding quiet confidence, but because of who she was. Maya Sinclair was a billionaire, a self-made business mogul whose rise to success had become legendary. From humble beginnings in a rough neighborhood to becoming one of the wealthiest figures in the country, she had built an empire through tech innovation and strategic investments. Despite her wealth, she never forgot where she came from. She believed in staying connected to the real world. Tonight, she had chosen to walk alone, without her usual security team, simply enjoying the city she had helped shape. But not everyone saw her as a powerful, accomplished woman. For some, she was just another black face in the wrong place. And that was about to become painfully clear. As Maya exited a high-end boutique, holding a small shopping bag, she noticed a police cruiser parked nearby. The officer inside was watching her. She didn't think much of it. She was used to being noticed. But something about his stare made her uneasy. The officer, Sergeant Daniel Trent, had been with the department for years. He was known in certain circles for his aggressive policing, especially toward people he thought didn't belong. And tonight, his target was Maya. The moment she stepped off the curb, his lights flashed red and blue. "Ma'am, stop right there!" Maya froze. People turned to watch. Her heartbeat quickened, but she remained composed. This wasn't new. She turned to face him, her voice steady. "Is there a problem, officer?" Trent stepped out of the car, his hand resting on his holstered gun, his posture stiff with authority. "What are you doing in this area?" he asked, his tone sharp. Maya blinked. "Excuse me?" "We've had reports of suspicious activity. You match the description." She let out a slow breath. "Here we go." "I'm shopping," she replied evenly, holding up her bag. "That's not a crime, is it?" Trent smirked, stepping closer. "Don't get smart with me." The air was thick with tension. People nearby started recording on their phones. But Trent wasn't backing down. He took another step forward, his smirk fading into something darker. And then he did the unthinkable. Without warning, Trent kicked her, hard, right in the stomach. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd as Maya staggered backward, nearly collapsing. Her shopping bag fell to the ground, her body doubling over in shock. "What the hell are you doing?" a woman screamed, her phone capturing every second. Trent, however, wasn't fazed. "Resisting an officer," he spat. "You people never learn." Maya's hands shook, but she forced herself to stand up straight. She could taste the metallic tang of anger and humiliation, but she wouldn't let him see it. The cameras were rolling, people were watching, and so was someone else. From across the street, a tall man in a dark suit stepped out of a sleek black car, his expression unreadable. Maya didn't see him yet, but Trent was about to wish he had. The man approached calmly, his sharp eyes locked onto Trent. He wasn't just any bystander. He was Jonathan Reynolds, the U.S. Attorney General, the highest-ranking law enforcement officer in the country. Trent's smirk faded instantly as he recognized him. "Officer Trent," Reynolds said, his voice smooth but deadly. The entire crowd fell silent. Trent stiffened, suddenly unsure of himself. "Sir, I was just—" "Assaulting a citizen in broad daylight?" Reynolds interrupted, his gaze piercing. He turned to Maya, his voice softening. "Are you all right, ma'am?" Maya finally looked up and realized who he was. She nodded, her body still aching. "I will be." Reynolds gave her a small nod before turning back to Trent. "Hand over your badge and gun, right now." Trent's eyes widened. "Sir, you can't be serious." "Now." Reynolds' tone left no room for argument. For the first time, Trent looked scared. Slowly, he unhooked his badge and gun, placing them in Reynolds' outstretched hand. You're done, Trent, Reynolds said coldly. You just made the biggest mistake of your life. The crowd erupted into cheers and applause. But for Maya, this was far from over. Within hours, the video had gone viral. News anchors replayed the footage, and the hashtag had Justice for Maya trended worldwide. By morning, Trent had been formally arrested and charged with assault. But Maya wasn't stopping there. At a press conference, she stood before the world, her voice calm but unshakable. This isn't just about me, she said, looking directly into the cameras. It's about every Black person who has been harassed, humiliated, or harmed because of the color of their skin. We will not stay silent. She announced that she was filing a lawsuit, not just against Trent, but against the entire police department for allowing this behavior to go unchecked. The city was forced to act. Laws were passed to increase police accountability. Training programs were overhauled, and dozens of officers with past misconduct were investigated and removed. Maya didn't just win her battle, she changed the system. Months later, Maya sat in her office, the floor-to-ceiling windows offering a breathtaking view of the city skyline. The very city that once tried to silence her now echoed with her impact. The streets below bustled with life, but she wasn't just watching from above. She was shaping its future. Her assistant, Leah, entered the room quietly and placed a newspaper on her desk. "Morning, Miss Sinclair. Thought you'd want to see this." Maya glanced down at the bold black letters. Former Officer Trent sentenced to 15 years in prison. She ran a finger over the headline, exhaling slowly. Justice had been served, but she knew the battle wasn't over. Just then, her phone buzzed. Jonathan Reynolds. Maya's lips curved into a knowing smile before she answered. "Ready to take on the next fight?" Reynolds asked, his voice steady. Maya turned her gaze to a framed photo on her desk, a younger version of herself, standing barefoot in front of her childhood home, a reminder of where she started, of every struggle that shaped her. She tightened her grip on the phone. "Always," she said without hesitation, because justice wasn't just about one victory, it was a movement, and Maya Sinclair was just getting started.